Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen, and again Commodity TV, and it's again company presentation time. We have here today as a guest in Munich EnWave Corporation, and EnWave is working in the dehydration technology business. They will revolutionize the world, freeing the world from freeze drying, I would say. And with me here I have John McNicol. He's the president and co-CEO of the company. And John, pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for taking the time. And EnWave, shortly, we have done an interview, I think last year in November it was, during the Precious Metal Show here in Munich. And so some of our viewers already know your company, but I would say give us a brief summary. What is EnWave doing? What areas you are working? Of course, you are not precious metals, so that's also a very nice thing to have. And give us a brief summary about the company. What is the dehydration? In what areas you are working?
Yeah, dehydration is a very large industry, and we created unique technology that's primarily focused in the food industry, biological industry, and industrial industry. So it's massive. Pretty well everywhere you walk down the aisle today, you'll find food that is either dried or has some additive, like a probiotic or protein enzyme that's been dried. The pharmaceutical market is very, very large as well. They have lots of use for this kind of technology in vaccines and antibodies. And again, one of the reasons people dehydrate is to extend the shelf life, make a product more stable, because it
better quality also?
Well, the quality can be improved, but typically it's more about being more stable for longer term usage, cheaper to transport and things like that. So it's a big strategic here in the world, and it's just large scale markets.
Who has invented the technology? Are you holding all the patents? How did it work?
Yeah, my partner is Dr. Tim Durrance, and he is the inventor of the technology. We have a very wide and growing suite of patents that we have on the technology and various ways and platforms. We have some of them been filed worldwide. Some of them have been issued in specific countries. So our goal is to protect our technology as best as we can. And my partner has done, I think, a brilliant job at developing the technology to a point where now, at a scale of commercial capability and working towards building our market.
Okay, so sounds all compelling story, of course, but let's get a bit more into detail. I would say let's start with the food business, because I think this is something which everybody does, everybody needs in those days. And what is the let's say the workout in the food sector? You are drying fruits, vegetables, meat also, I think. Please elaborate on that a bit.
Yeah, well, we have, one of the things that we've done is we've got a very large scale group of interested collaborative partners, research partners.
Can you name some?
And yeah, we've signed agreements over the past few years with companies like Nestle, Bonduelle.
The Swiss giant, Nestle.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Companies like Hormel. It's a big meat company in the U.S. Bonduelle, which is a big French conglomerate in the vegetable market.
Yeah. Well known here.
Well known here. Merck Pharmaceuticals, which is a leader in the pharmaceutical market. Yeah. So we've had a long list of very significant companies that are showing interest in the technology. And what we've done is we've got a very diverse area of interest. What's happening now is we're seeing a lot of commercial traction. And so we've moved from sort of conceptual research into actual products that are being launched. We signed one of our first commercial deals with a fruit company in the U.S. called Milne Fruits, and they have focused initially on blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. They've been doing a lot of additional testing in other areas like cherries, vegetables such as peas and corn and carrots. And as they become successful commercially, those products now become part of the channel we can build on, globally with companies in those particular areas. This year we also opened up 2 new commercial channels. We signed a deal for cheese, all natural cheese. It's
So that means you dehydrate cheese then?
That's
you
correct.
make a product out of that?
Well, we could take cubes of cheese and they puff up to be crunchy snacks without any additives. And if you look at that market, the majority of the major players, that the cheese is a very small percentage of the product. It's usually added fillers and additives and things like that. into the product. So ours is absolute pure cheese, dehydrated into wonderful, tasty, crunchy snacks. And we have our partner, we've entered a partnership in the U.S. with a company called Lucid and Capital, and they were formerly involved in a very successful chocolate business called Brookside Chocolates, and that company built that business and sold it for large profit to Hershey's last year.
To Hershey's,
and now they have effectively, the team is involved with our project. They think this cheese has a great chance in the U.S. market. They also have opportunities in Belgium and Holland. And so we're very excited about that product and the potential of that. And we're in the process now of starting up a pilot line to launch the first stage of products, finish our branding. So,
can you give, probably, I know it's too early, but can you give an estimate about this particular cheese product? Because I think, as you said, you have berries, you have vegetables, So that the thing is, as far as I understand it, you can create out of those food chains, I will call it, separate businesses, right?
That's right.
And so let's stay with the cheese, because I think this is a very interesting thing, because nobody would think about drying cheese and giving it out as a snack, And can you give an estimate what could be a potential business out of that? Is it like $1 million a year, or 5 or 10? What can you see in the markets?
I mean, food products can be very significant if they're successful, if the market likes them. I don't usually put any revenue numbers when you're starting up a product, but I know that it can be very, very successful. I think Brookside themselves had very, very good revenues, tens of millions of dollars. And they were able to convert that into eventual sale of the company. At our point right now, our goal is to get the right product positioned well and start running the machinery and the production of that and build a market. And the nice thing I like about the opportunity is it's a very good product for our technology. It's something that's quite easy to process. It gives you lots of throughput. It's a fast product to process. So I think the value could be very attractive, because it is a very high value product as well. Sells well at certain prices, and being all natural, it goes along with the trend of finding healthier snacks, high protein, calcium, and just better quality. And so that's really what we're focused on. Now, we also at EnWave, as in normal, we get a license. So we get, outside of participating in the revenue and earnings of that subsidiary, we will get 5% or more royalty on any of the revenue, which is typical, how we build our model with other companies. So we're pretty excited about the potential of that. And that was a big step forward for us this year so far.
So that means that you can keep a low burn rate, of course, because you are licensing out your technology, your products, or let's say with your partners you are working together. So that means you don't need a massive amount of people, of course. You can do it all by yourself, And the other thing is what I'm interested in, you just said the keyword machinery. I think you bought last year Hans Binder here in Munich.
Correct.
So what is Hans Binder? Where do you see the value for EnWave with that?
Well, Hans Binder has been in the drying industry since the 1950s. It's a very typical...
It's a
pioneering company that was in mostly conventional air drying. And the dad built the business, and the son and daughter took it over in the 90s. The son's an engineer. And they also had technology in vacuum microwave, which is our technology area. And over the last few years, we had acquired some of their patents, and they built the machine plant, the Milne I mentioned in fruits. We owned the patent, so we signed a license with royalty, and they delivered the plant. And that plant's become a showcase. It's a beautiful facility, proven our technology at a larger scale. Some of the larger companies in our pipeline have visited the plant to see the technology.
That it really works?
Absolutely. It's important, because when you're dealing with new processes, people need to have some verification, some validation. And that provided us tremendous validation, and so good that we felt it was important that we acquire the company and integrate our full efforts together. And what it has done is it's brought us as I think, a de facto global leader as in vacuum microwave, working together. It provides the strength of EnWave, which is really a very innovative, large market group of collaborative partners and opportunities for larger patents around the world. With Binder, that's an outstanding engineering and a builder of industrial scale machinery. It also has given our larger collaborator partners some more confidence in our ability to deliver with less technical risk.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
It is. And as we have other platforms, we get the Binder company to be able to support those platforms in some of the design areas so that we can even get stronger, better technology.
Yeah.
And finally, we feel that ultimately, if we're right about vacuum microwave and we get a successful build out of the market, that we can add value to Binder because it's a very good high margin kind of business as a machine builder. And we're going to be able to consolidate 100% of their revenue. So right away
you have 86% on a company?
Yeah, we have 86%. So we will consolidate their 100% of the revenue. We back out a little bit of minority interest at the end. But at the end of the day, that takes us into a serious growth revenue company. And if you combine that with opportunities for some of our licenses that we've got with royalty, combine that with the opportunity for the cheese business now, which is going to be, as we can build that out, a revenue stream. We have now 3 different revenue areas that we can grow. And I think that's really, the target for us now is to build a market, build the channels for the technology.
Okay. So that means, you are processing the whole food chain. You have the technology in place. You have the patents in place. You can deliver the machinery. You build the machinery. You can do the maintenance on the machinery, which I think is for the larger companies also very important, because what they can't afford is that the machine stands still.
That's right.
Yeah, so they want to earn money with that, and you too, because through the licensing. Good. So we have spoken about food, about your other areas. Let's come a bit to enzymes and vaccines. Let's say to the pharmaceutical market. Yeah. What is going on there? Because I think it's also a large potential in there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say before we go into the pharmaceutical, the enzymes, it's very important because enzymes, it's one of these global markets that's growing very, very quickly. It's a market that has substantial penetration in things like the whitener and taking your teeth, making them white for the stain removal, and the detergents, taking the stain out. It's in biofuels. They break the cellulose down. Many food applications, they're there to break the proteins down to make digestion easier. Animal foods, they're involved in new rubbers that they're developing. It's just a very big, fast growth market. And
can you say how large the world market is?
Well, I mean, we've estimated there's some of the markets together. It's like $6 or $7 billion. So it's a big market. But more importantly, many of the types of enzymes are dehydrated to be used in the process, and some of them are freeze dried, some of them are spray dried or use other methods. But the freeze drying is very, very expensive. And so what we've done is we've been working for the last year or so with a major, North American enzyme company, and we were able to negotiate our first commercial deal with these guys. They have 2 tier 1 customers that they work with, primarily with some other customers as well, and so they already have an established market. And they're now looking to do the dehydration with our technology. So we are setting up a plant, with our technology in their facility. The first machine is scheduled later this year, probably September, October, to be established. Then we're going to go through a verification with their customers. And the successful verification would mean we would enter commercial production, hopefully by the end of this year, early next year. And then we'll go ahead and build a second machine because they need at least 2 machines for their current business. So this is a big, big step forward. We're putting the initial capital into the 2 machines for what we estimate is a 30 to 50% return on capital based on the royalty that we're going to get, which is a significant royalty. But they're going to have better overall process control and an outstanding, I think, opportunity to have cost savings based on the fact that our technology, I think, is much faster and less expensive than the conventional freeze dryer. And ours is actually in this method, we call it powder rev. It actually is. We use freezing as well, but we microwave assist it. to do it much quicker.
Okay, so it saves energy also.
It saves energy. It's much lower capital.
Yeah.
And much faster time of dehydration. So it's again a chance, like we did with Milne in the fruits market. It's a chance to showcase with this plant to the world that this technology now is ready to show that you can, with very high levels of verification, that we can produce at a very attractive, competitive rate to the standard that's out there, which is a conventional freeze dryer.
Okay.
So that really is a big step and a big channel that we can work on. So now we have, fruits that are commercially in the channel that's growing with Milne. There's interest in vegetables. If that goes commercial, that's another channel. Then we have the cheese product, which is another channel. And quite frankly, there's at least 3 other companies testing and interested in the cheese product. Another company in Canada, another one in Europe, and another one of our larger partners that's interested in using the cheese for some of their product applications. So we're getting right away a lot of buzz about that potential. And then we have the enzymes. And so we've been able to sort of build these channels, and we're working now to build those up and grow the business. In addition to that, I should say that of the large list of the initial collaborative partners, the tier 1 companies, the larger ones, at least 3 of them now have indicated their move from research to market evaluations.
So commercialization, or?
Well, they're working towards making a decision based on the products that they've identified, whether they want to go to the market or not. We know 2 of them, are quite advanced in their review, and we hope in the next, 6 weeks, maybe two months or so, we could have a chance to get some indications if they're going to progress to the next step, and that would mean moving towards, commercialization, with hopefully orders, coming, a bit later in the year or shortly after that, and we would then be in a position to have some other, global branded companies bringing products to the market in other channels now that would help us grow the business. So there's a lot of momentum that we can feel here right now where we're at. Ultimately, those decisions are made at the big companies' boardroom, so we don't have, unfortunately, the choice. But I think so far things seem to be going quite well with the products that I'm aware of. But we'll see. We're going to get decisions coming soon.
Perfect. So final question, what do you want to achieve in 2013 and what are the goals for 2014? Let's say like a real commercialization of the chains you have now, the separate ones you have already described. How do you rate the chances that you can really commercialize now one after the other product?
Well, I think the most important thing short term is that we want to execute the projects that we have. So we want to have a good chance of working with our partner to launch the cheese product, find the right branding location in the stores. They have excellent contacts in the U.S. retail market, so we know where to go. It's a matter of finding the brand, the positioning to get the best, interest in the product and sales. In the enzyme, it's a matter of delivering the plant and establishing a verification that is going to be successful with the larger partners that company has. With Milne, they're working really hard in a lot of different areas, and what they do is they put their own money in the product development, and we just want to keep supporting them because I think they've already got products that are in the market, getting good traction with some very large retailers in the U.S., and I think we're going to end up seeing them have a lot of growth and success, and then I'd like to take those kind of core areas that we've developed now and go even more broader in global terms and find channels that we can get with other forms of selling to make it a bigger interest, because we know they're commercial, we know they have a lot of advantages, so that's very important. And then key is to get these larger multinational deals hopefully through the acceptance into working to finalize the transactions towards getting machinery delivered and getting them started up. And if those products are successful, they will, go across the world in many cases with the product, which means it's a really big growth channel for both selling of equipment and for royalty growth. And so that's really the target. And in the pharmaceutical, it's a bit of a longer stream, but we've been working, as you know, with Merck. And Merck is the outstanding partner. The first phase has been to sort of evaluate our technology to conventional freeze drying. And, they've been helping us find, improvements and things, and we're continuing on that process. And the goal is really with, probably by the second half of this year to reach a stage where they will decide to go to the second step or not.
Okay.
And if they go to the second step, it'll be more finding a commercial path where they will increase their investment and we will, have to provide more technology developments. And that's our target is to go to that next step. And we keep our fingers crossed and work hard to help prove the technology.
Perfect. So that's how you should do it.
Yes.
Do it right. Do it the successful way, of course.
That's right.
John, thank you very much. All the best for you and the company. We will watch very carefully. We will follow you guys. And thanks for having you here.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
John.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. It was John McNicol, the president and co-CEO of EnWave Corp, EnWave Corporation out of Vancouver. And it's dehydration technology. It's not something brand new, but I would say it's perfectly redone, combining all the processes which were already established, but now in the right way. And as you heard, the company has a lot of potential, a lot of chains to follow, and it looks like that they are on the commercial path now. That means that they start to generate the first revenues, and probably we will see next year higher revenues and more revenues. And also the stock held the last 12 to 18 months very well. It was a very nice trading range. You are not hammered, and so watch out for the company. Check the company out. You will hear more very soon. There was Jochen Steiger, Commodity TV from Munich. Thanks and bye bye.